I'll never forget this. What I said was, Judge, tell him to stop making stuff up.
Yeah.
And the whole jury laughed. And they laughed because they recognized I was right, I think, at least in their view, that the over the top nature of the closing argument was really, really over the top in that case, and was disconnected from the case that the jurors heard come in over the course of 6 weeks. So to be able to do that has to ring true for the jury, or you're going to find yourself on the wrong end of that. And I think in that particular moment, it did ring true for the jury. And there's, a long story about that arc and why it made sense to say that in that moment. But I think, the ability to make objections that the jury understands, I think, is one of my superpowers, frankly. We all have a couple to be good at this. And, I think making objections during the course of a trial that the jury understands why you're making them, it makes sense to them, even if the judge doesn't agree with you, versus a technical argument that the jury has no idea what you're talking about. I think that spectrum of those two things has an incredibly different effect on jurors. And to be able to do that well, I think it's one of the things I'm really good at. I enjoy it. And I think it's really effective. And I don't think enough defense lawyers do that. I mean, overall, I think jurors have to see some piece of, this is not someone just doing their job and saying words as a defense lawyer. This is someone who believes the case that they're presenting. And I see that.